permanent. I wrote it in Sharpedoe, 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 Sharpedoe. I wrote it, I wrote it, I wrote it, Sharpedoe. I wrote it, I wrote it, I wrote it, Sharpedoe. I wrote it.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Sharpedoe, and today I got a battle against my boy Sork, aka TheSorkanist, from Pokemon Showdown. He was streaming and he asked for a Wi-Fi battle, so I kindly stepped up to the plate and went for the Wi-Fi battle, using the same team I've used in the last couple of battles. But anyways, let's jump right into this battle and see what happens. So I'm going to lead off with my Darmanitan because just in case he leads off with something that can U-turn, which he does, and it's the Braviary, I can go for a U-turn too, but I actually predict him to go into something else that's not the Tentacruel, so I didn't predict him to predict my Flare Blitz, so I went straight for the Flare Blitz on this turn just to get as much damage off as I possibly could. But surprisingly, a Choice Banded, wait, am I Choice Banded? No, I'm Choice Scarf. Choice Scarf Adamant does that much damage to a Tentacruel. I didn't expect that. That's a lot of damage. But anyways, he's going to get his Black Sludge recovery here, and I'm just going to switch out because I don't want to get hit by a Scald because that'll easily take out my Darmanitan. So I'm going to go into Nidoqueen, and I predicted him to not go for a Scald, predicting my switch, so you know, Nidoqueen can take a knockoff real easy. It's not going to do a lot. So that's going to allow me to come into my Nidoqueen. Unfortunately, I do lose my leftovers. He's going to go for a Scald. It's going to do a lot of damage to my Nidoqueen, but not enough. And right here, I'm going to go for Dragon Tail, but I miss. That's terrible. I hate missing. You miss a move, you get put at a disadvantage. That's how this works. So anyways, I'm going to go into Jellicent, predicting another Scald. He does go for the Scald, but I do have the Water Absorb, so it's not going to do anything to my Jellicent. Now here, I believe I go for a... I don't even know what I go for. A Pain Split or something? Nah, I have Will-O-Wisp, so yeah, I wanted to get residual damage off on it. So, yeah. There's pretty much a burn Tentacruel. Unfortunately, it's not going to do much. He's going to keep going for knockoffs at a point in this battle, so the burn does help. And the burn actually comes into play a little bit later into the battle with some predictions in my Darmanitan. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, he's going to go into the Heracross here. And I didn't know this at first, but his Heracross is a Guts Heracross, so burning this thing was not the best thing I could have done. I'm going to go for a Scald here, and apparently he just wanted me to keep going for Scalds because if I do burn him, then, you know, he's almighty and all-powerful. But he's going to go for the sub here, and since he's behind the sub, I cannot burn him. And he's going to get some leftovers recovery because, you know, I guess I should have known he was a Guts Heracross because he's running the leftovers instead. So I'm going to go for another Scald here, hoping to get the burn because I still didn't know he was a Guts Heracross, but like I said, I should know because he's running leftovers, and leftovers is pretty much standard for a Guts Heracross. He's going to go for another knockoff, and right here I'm going to go for the Trick Room, so now I can outspeed and just go for another, or go for a Recover, because nobody wants to die to a Heracross, right? So I'm going to go for Recover here, and he's just going to keep going for knockoff, which I'm kind of gaining more HP than I'm losing, so it doesn't really matter. But I'm going to fast forward this piece right here a little bit because it's kind of long and drawn out, so yeah. Now, as you can see, I went for the Will-O-Wisp here, and unfortunately, I did not know he was knockoff variant, so I thought the burn was gonna, or he was the Guts variant, like I said, so I didn't think he was gonna be able to KO with the burn like that, but unfortunately, he is the Guts version of it, so he's gonna be able to kill me. Now, right here, I'm gonna have to go into my Honchkrow, and he told me that he didn't know the Trick Room was still up, but I paid attention to it, so I'm going to be able to take him out with the Brave Bird easily, being 4 times effective, but it didn't really matter because my Honchkrow is Choice Banded, so, I mean, what were you going to do anyway? You were going to die regardless, it didn't matter. But, yeah, as you can see, I'm going to take my damage recoil, but I'm also going to get that Moxie boost, boy. But as you can see, the Trick Room wore off there, so he's going to go into the Manectric, and predicting my switch, unless, no, I don't know. I think he predicted my switch, and I went into Nidoqueen to predict a Volt Switch, which he does go for the Volt Switch, I'm pretty sure. And now he's going to be stuck into his Manectric, and I believe he has the Hidden Power Ice, so the Manectric isn't really in a bad spot in any sort of way, because Hidden Power Ice still does a ton of damage to Nidoqueen. As you can see, he went for the Volt Switch there. I predicted that nicely. But he goes for the Hidden Power Ice here, and that's easily going to be enough to take out my Nidoqueen. I did think I could take one, but I guess I'm just not bulky enough. Anyways, I'm going to go into Darmanitan here. And oddly enough, Mega Manectric is fast as can be because he outsped a Choice Scarf Darmanitan, which made absolutely no sense to me. I don't know if I'm Choice Scarfed in this video or not, now that I think about it, because that shouldn't have happened. But I did predict his switch into the Tentacruel, and I'm going to go for the nice and clean Earthquake. And at that amount of damage left, or health on that Tentacruel, he's gonna die to the burn, so that was a good prediction on my part. But unfortunately, you know, Manectric's gonna come back in, and he can easily revenge kill me. And, you know, at that point, Darmanitan's just done. So he's going to go for a Volt Switch here, which I would not have Volt Switched. I would have actually went for a Thunderbolt and then Volt Switched, because then you can have the priority switch whenever you want it. But unfortunately, you let me get priority switch because I death foddered out. So here is going to be the battle of the birds. The Big Haunch Crow versus the Braviary. I'm going to go for the Sucker Punch, see how much damage I can do, and that's going to do a ton of damage to the Braviary, and he's going to go for a Brave Bird and Oko me. And with that being said, as you can see how much damage he did, that's going to take out his Braviary due to recoil damage. So I guess, which bird's better? Make your choice. Who's better? Put it down in the comment section below. Who's better, Braviary or Honchcrow? Personally, I feel Honchcrow because he gets Moxie, you know what I'm saying? But he goes into the Manectric here, and I'm going to go into the Regice because I just felt like he was going to go into his pivot Pokemon. And he's going to go for a Flamethrower, scouting to see how much damage he can do, and it's not going to do anything at all to my Regice. Regice is just too bulky. The special defense bulk is real. I'm going to go for an Ice Beam here, and I'm going to do well over half to this Manectric, the Mega Manectric, the Mountain, the God. But anyways, you know, I'm going to go for another Ice Beam just because if he wanted to stay in, he's going to die to it. But unfortunately, he's going to Volt Switch out, and that's going to do a decent amount of damage because it is Stab at that point. And he's going to go into Celebi, and Celebi's not going to take this Ice Beam too well either, as you can see. Now right here, I make a little bit of a misplay, and I should have just gone for another Ice Beam because unfortunately for me, I'm letting the Celebi set up a little too much for the win, because if I did have a Focus Sash on any of my Pokemon, he just broke it with these Stealth Rocks here because I don't have a Rapid Spinner on the team. So now I go for the Toxic, which I don't understand why I did this. Like I said, should have gone for the Ice Beam because Ice Beam could have been a potential 2 or 3 hit KO based on min-max damage, but you know, it doesn't really matter. Right here, I'm gonna go for another Ice Beam because, you know, I just see nothing else to go for besides Ice Beam. He's going to go for the U-turn here and go into the Manectric, basically using it as death fodder because, I mean, Manectric's not really useful for his team anymore, so the death fodder is here. And he does have the Victini as his last Pokemon, and my last 2 Pokemon are my Regice and my Roserade. So if you can't tell what's going to happen here, the Victini is Choice Scarfed, and Regice has no defensive bulk, like physically defensive bulk, and my Roserade cannot take a V-Create for anything. So right now I'm just trying to stall him out of PP for his V-Create because I was hoping he was just one of those Pokemon that doesn't have PP Max V-Create, and he told me he didn't, but unfortunately, you know, I can't get the double protect, so it doesn't even matter. He's going to go for the V-Create here, and that's easily going to take out my Regice from that range. I mean, it would have OHKO'd me from max HP anyways, so it doesn't matter. He's going to get the speed drop and the defense drop and the special defense drop, but it's not going to be enough because he is Choice Scarf, so now he's at about neutral speed, a little bit over neutral speed, like times, or like 0.3 above his speed. But anyways, he's going to go for another V-Create here and easily take me out. So if you guys enjoyed that battle, I thought it was a pretty good Wi-Fi battle. check out my man Sorkanist channel. I'll link in the description below if you guys want to check him out. But until my next video, this is your boy Sharpedoe, and I left my mark in Sharpedoe. Bye!